Archangel Michael says, you ignored the sign yesterday, but heaven is giving you one last chance tonight. Don't look away this time. His voice cuts through the noise, calm yet commanding, filled with power but never anger. It carries the weight of divine mercy, not judgment, not punishment, but an opportunity. Last night, a message tried to reach you. You saw the number, you felt the pull. You had that strange dream, or that moment when your heart skipped a beat. You brushed it off, thinking it was coincidence. But it wasn't. Now, heaven is moving again, opening the same window, one last time, to reach you before it closes for good. The clock is ticking. Somewhere in the silence between each second, the angels are whispering, listen, this is your final reminder. Not to scare you, not to pressure you, but to awaken you. Because you've asked for guidance, you've prayed for clarity, and the universe has been answering, but you haven't been listening. Tonight, that changes. Take a deep breath. Feel the air moving in and out of your chest. Let everything around you go quiet. This moment is sacred, whether you realize it or not. The candle flickers for a reason. The stillness in the room isn't empty. It's full of divine presence. Michael's energy has entered your space now, soft blue and radiant gold, settling around you like armor made of light. He says, this isn't punishment. This is mercy. The same sign that appeared yesterday, the number that repeated, the word that echoed, the symbol that made your heart pause, it will return tonight. You will see it again, but this time you will know. You will feel that unmistakable vibration of recognition deep inside, because heaven never sends the same message twice unless it believes you can finally hear it. If you're ready to receive this message before the clock resets, whisper softly, I am listening now. Or write it, claim it, speak it. When you say those words, your energy shifts. You open a channel. The divine frequencies that have been circling around you finally find a point of entry, because that's how heaven works. It doesn't force itself in. It waits for your permission. The angels never rush. They move when your heart says yes. And right now, Michael is waiting for that yes. He is standing before a glowing hourglass, its golden sand slowly falling. Each grain that falls represents a moment of hesitation, a chance you almost took but didn't. But time hasn't run out yet. That's why you're here. He says, yesterday, your heart hesitated. Tonight, heaven opens one final window. This is your moment to forgive, to release, to accept what you've been resisting. That heavy weight on your chest, the regret, the anger, the what-ifs, it's not yours to carry anymore. The angels have been trying to take it from you, but you keep holding on. Let go. Let this be the night you finally unclench your fists and allow the light to take what no longer belongs to you. You might be asking, but what if I miss it again? Michael smiles. You won't, because this time you stopped. You're listening. Heaven doesn't send messages into empty space. It sends them to willing hearts. And right now, your heart is listening. That's why you feel this. The warmth crawling up your neck, the slight pressure between your eyebrows, the pulse of energy behind your chest. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations. The energy tonight is unique. It's quiet but urgent, soft but undeniable. It's as if all of heaven has paused, waiting to see whether you will recognize what's being placed before you. And that's what makes this moment sacred. You are not here by mistake. You didn't stumble across this by accident. You were guided, carefully, intentionally, lovingly. Now listen. Archangel Michael's light expands around you. The flickering candle grows steadier. The shadows retreat. He holds his sword, not in fire, but in light, raised gently toward the sky. It's not a weapon tonight. It's a signal. A declaration that the time of hesitation is over. He says, this is your final warning, but it's also your greatest mercy. The same door that almost closed yesterday has been reopened tonight, but this time you must walk through it. Heaven isn't cruel. It doesn't threaten. It offers choices, moments that return only when the soul is truly ready. And your soul is ready. That's why you feel the pull. That's why you're here, reading these words, your heart pounding a little faster. Something in you already knows that this message was meant for you and no one else. Michael continues, yesterday, when the sign appeared, your heart doubted. You said, maybe later. You said, maybe it's nothing. But tonight, the light has returned for the last time, not because heaven is impatient, but because your path can't wait any longer. The world outside may seem quiet, but spiritually, everything is moving. You're standing at the edge of a divine intersection. In one direction is the familiar, the same doubts, the same fears, the same patterns that keep you small. In the other is the unknown, the door you've been too afraid to open. Tonight, the light shines directly on that door. What will you choose? Forgiveness is waiting. Healing is waiting. Breakthrough is waiting. But heaven can't force it. You have to open the door yourself. Michael can guide you. He can guard you, but he can't take the step for you. That's the sacred rule of free will. He says, when the same message returns twice, it is no longer a sign. It is a command. This is not about fear. It's about awakening. Heaven doesn't want to scare you. It wants to shake you out of spiritual sleep. You've been standing too long at the threshold of change. It's time to walk through. Look closely at the clock in your mind. It's almost midnight. The second hand moves slower now, not because time has stopped, but because heaven is stretching this moment for you, giving you one final pause before the reset. Use it. Think of the message you ignored yesterday, the voice you silenced, the dream you dismissed, the feeling you explained away as coincidence. What if that was divine guidance? What if it returns tonight, and this time you recognize it? When you see it, don't question it. Don't ask for another sign. This is the sign. Say softly, I hear the angels clearly now. Because clarity doesn't come when you demand proof. It comes when you decide to believe. Michael stands before you, his expression radiant with calm authority. The candlelight around him glows brighter, almost as if it's responding to your heartbeat. He raises his hand and says, mercy returns only for those who listen. And in that moment, everything clicks. You realize that heaven has never been testing you. It has been teaching you, showing you how to recognize love even when it comes disguised as discipline. Every delay, every silence, every missed sign was just preparation for this one night. Now, the energy in the room shifts again. It feels lighter, brighter. You can almost sense the angels moving closer, as if to seal your choice. This is it, your moment of realignment. The clock hasn't struck 12 yet. There's still time to say yes. Say it now. Whisper it if you must. I trust divine timing. Let it echo through you like a promise, because that's what it is. A promise that heaven never truly gives up on those who are willing to try again. Tonight, mercy found you. And this time, you didn't look away. The air feels alive, not loud, not visible, but charged, like the atmosphere right before a storm that never comes. You can almost sense the unseen movement of wings, the quiet hum of divine presence gathering around you. Archangel Michael's energy is near again, unmistakable, protective, ancient. His light doesn't demand attention. It simply fills every corner until nothing dark remains. He says softly, you were given one sign yesterday. You dismissed it, but not because you didn't care, because your heart was tired. Heaven understands that. That's why mercy has returned tonight. His words fall gently, like light rain after a long drought. Every syllable lands deep in your spirit, dissolving layers of guilt, shame, or disbelief. Heaven is not angry with you. Heaven is patient. Mercy doesn't run out. It waits for readiness. Now you are ready. Your readiness is the reason you're hearing this message again. You could have scrolled past, turned away, distracted yourself. But you didn't. You stopped. You stayed. That stillness alone is enough for heaven to move. Because when the heart pauses, light can enter. Michael's voice continues, calm yet resonant with authority. This is your second and final call, not to scare you, but to awaken you. You've asked for change, for clarity, for healing. But miracles cannot land in a closed hand. Tonight, I ask you to open it. Take a deep breath and unclench your fists. Literally or symbolically, let go of the things you're holding too tightly. The control, the resentment, the fear of repeating old mistakes. Breathe out slowly and say quietly, I release. As those words leave your lips, the energy in your body shifts. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw relaxes. The heaviness in your chest lightens. This is the soundless language of surrender, the vibration heaven listens for. You see, Archangel Michael never forces. He invites. He doesn't break your walls down. He waits until you're ready to open the door yourself. And that's what you've just done. The candle flickers again, steady this time. The shadows on the walls soften. You can feel it, a shift in the atmosphere, subtle but undeniable. The veil between your world and the divine thins until they almost overlap. You're not imagining it. You're aligning. Michael says, yesterday your heart doubted. Tonight it believes again. The same window that closed once is open now, wide enough for a miracle to enter. You might not know what that miracle looks like yet. Maybe it's an opportunity, a person, a message, or simply peace after chaos. But it's already moving toward you. The only thing left to do is stay awake, stay open, and say yes when it knocks. Look again, not with your eyes, but with your awareness. Can you feel that warmth spreading through your palms? That gentle vibration rising through your spine? It's energy, the pure transmission of light sent directly from Archangel Michael. He's marking you, not as chosen above others, but as one who has chosen faith. Heaven always honors courage, especially the courage to believe again after doubt. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a vast room of golden light. You stand in the center. The walls pulse softly, alive with energy. Before you, an hourglass floats in the air. Its sand glows like starlight, falling grain by grain. Michael stands beside it, his sword lowered, his expression gentle. He doesn't look like a warrior now. He looks like a guardian, a teacher. He says, this hourglass measures not your failures, but your forgiveness. Each grain that falls represents a moment you forgive yourself for not knowing better. Mercy isn't about starting over. It's about continuing with lightness. As he speaks, you feel something inside you loosen, the hard knot of regret, the guilt of missed chances. You realize how long you've been carrying that weight. But now, the sand inside your own heart starts to flow again. You're not stuck anymore. You're moving slowly but surely toward freedom. Michael lifts his sword slightly. Its blade glows a soft gold, not sharp but luminous. He holds it before you, not as a threat, but as a mirror. Inside the reflection, you see not your face, but your light, clear, strong, radiant. He says, this is who you are when you stop doubting. This is the truth heaven sees, even when you forget. For a moment, you can't breathe. Not from fear, but from recognition. You remember what it feels like to trust again, to believe in your own worth. It's not arrogance. It's remembrance. You are divine creation, not divine accident. The sound of the ticking clock returns, soft, rhythmic, like a heartbeat syncing with yours. It reminds you that time is moving, but you are no longer racing against it. You're moving with it. This is divine alignment, when action and timing meet in perfect harmony. Heaven never rushes. It simply waits for the right beat, the one your soul chooses to dance to. And right now, that rhythm is unfolding inside you. Michael continues, Forgiveness is the gateway. Release opens the door, but faith keeps it open. Faith doesn't mean knowing the outcome. It means trusting the purpose, even when the outcome is unseen. It's choosing to say, I hear you, heaven, even when the world calls it foolish. That's what angels call strength. You can feel the energy gathering now, spiraling upward through you. Your crown tingles. The air tastes metallic and sweet, like the moment before lightning strikes. This is spiritual electricity, the current of awakening. It moves through you, not to shock, but to activate. Every doubt that once sat heavy in your body begins to transform into clarity. You understand suddenly. The signs were never random. The repeated numbers, the songs, the dreams, the chills, they were all breadcrumbs leading here. You whisper, almost without realizing, I hear you now, and heaven responds instantly. A rush of warmth floods your chest, like invisible arms wrapping around you. That's confirmation. That's what it feels like when divine timing clicks into place. Michael's wings unfold behind him, stretching so wide that they touch both sides of the horizon. Each feather radiates golden light. The room, your space, fills with it, saturating everything in peace. He says, do you feel that? That is mercy returning to your doorstep. Not because you begged for it, but because you were brave enough to hope again. The phrase lingers in the air, vibrating with truth. You realize that mercy was never about second chances. It was about continued chances, infinite chances, as long as the soul is willing to rise. Heaven doesn't count your failures. It counts your attempts. And tonight, you tried again. That's why this moment exists. Michael looks toward the hourglass one final time. The last few grains of golden sand are falling. But instead of anxiety, you feel peace. Because you understand now, when the last grain falls, it's not the end. It's the reset. A new rhythm begins. Mercy returns only for those who listen, he repeats, his voice now a whisper of light itself. And as those words wash over you, the candle flame before you steadies completely, unmoving, unwavering, pure. You did it. You listened. The clock hasn't struck midnight yet, but something has already changed. You can feel it, deep, quiet, irreversible. A new cycle has begun, and this time, you won't miss the message again. The air around you is calm now, heavy, yes, but full of purpose. The storm that was building within you has quieted, replaced by a steady warmth that feels like safety. You realize that Archangel Michael never came to frighten you. He came to anchor you, to remind you that divine warnings are never threats, they are invitations to align. He moves closer, his presence filling the space with a stillness that makes even time seem to pause. His wings, vast and luminous, brush against the air, stirring it softly. Every motion carries weight, not heaviness, but meaning. You sense that every second from this point on matters. Every thought, every choice, every breath. Michael speaks again, and his voice is no longer booming or distant. It's intimate, as if it's coming from inside your own heart. You have been given time to listen, he says. Now you must decide. Decide what? You wonder. And then you realize, it isn't about deciding whether to believe in angels or not, or whether you've earned this mercy. It's about deciding to trust yourself again, to trust the divine rhythm that's been guiding you all along, even when you doubted it. That's the doorway you've been standing in front of. And Michael is simply here to remind you that you already hold the key. He lifts his sword again. It shines not like metal, but like liquid sunlight, flowing and alive. Its glow doesn't blind. It heals. The edges hum softly, as if singing in a frequency your heart recognizes. He points the sword toward the invisible horizon and says, you see only endings where heaven sees beginnings. You think the silence means abandonment, but it is the sound of transformation. The words ripple through you. They don't just reach your ears. They echo through every layer of your being. And for the first time in a long time, something in you believes, fully, deeply. You look down at your hands. They're trembling, not with fear, but release. You didn't realize how long you've been clinging to the illusion of control. You didn't notice how tight your grip had become, how tired your soul felt from trying to steer every outcome. And now, all of that effort is melting away. Michael's light is touching every place within you that you once thought was broken. He doesn't repair it. He transforms it. Every scar becomes a reflection point for divine light. Every crack becomes a window for grace to enter. He says gently, "Yesterday you hesitated. You feared the unknown. But tonight, the unknown has become your invitation. Step into it. It will not harm you. It will reveal you." The light around you swells. You feel surrounded, not enclosed. There's no suffocation here, only expansion. It's as though your soul is remembering how to breathe without boundaries. You are beginning to sense something beyond understanding. Heaven doesn't want your perfection. It wants your permission. Take another deep breath. Inhale the golden air that now fills the room. Exhale the old story, the one where you believed you were too late, too unworthy, too lost. That story was never written by the divine. It was written by fear. And fear has no claim over you anymore. Michael steps closer. You feel his presence like a soft pulse in the air, like a current running through your spine. You don't have to earn light, he says. You only have to open to it. You close your eyes, and in the darkness behind your eyelids, you see shapes of light forming. Feathers, spirals, circles, sacred geometry written in gold. They aren't separate from you. They're rising from you. You realize that this entire encounter isn't happening around you. It is happening through you. You aren't watching the miracle. You are the miracle unfolding. Michael's voice returns, soft yet steady. When you ignored the message yesterday, heaven didn't close the door. It waited. Mercy doesn't vanish. It bends time until your soul is ready to see again. You understand now. There are no missed chances, only delayed recognitions. The signs didn't stop. Your awareness did. And now that it has returned, everything begins to realign. You whisper quietly, almost to yourself, "I remember now." And with those words, something ancient inside you stirs. The part of you that has always known how to hear angels. The part that speaks the language of energy, emotion, and silence. A part that forgot but never disappeared. Michael smiles. His light softens to a gentle blue, cool and protective. He lowers his sword completely now and extends his hand toward you. "Take it," he says. Not because you are weak, but because you are ready to carry your strength differently. You hesitate for only a moment before you reach out. The moment your hand touches his, a surge of warmth races through your entire being. It's not heat like fire. It's warmth like memory, like something deeply familiar returning to its home. You feel safe. You feel held. Michael says, "The time you lost will be restored. The opportunities you missed will reappear in new form." Heaven does not erase what was meant for you. It redirects it. You can feel those words reshaping your understanding. Suddenly, every disappointment, every detour, every painful ending you've endured starts to make sense. You see how even your heartbreaks were rearranging you to hold more light. You see that every delay was not punishment. It was protection. This realization brings tears to your eyes. You've spent so long fighting yourself, believing you failed, when all along the divine was rerouting you toward something better. Michael watches your tears fall and nods softly. "Even your tears," he says, "are prayers in motion. Heaven hears them as songs." You breathe out slowly. You can feel the vibration of truth in his words. The air tastes cleaner somehow. It's as if the entire atmosphere has shifted into something sacred, a living, breathing confirmation that you are seen. Michael turns toward the invisible horizon again. The light behind him glows brighter now, spilling warmth into the room. The window is closing soon, he says. But don't confuse closure with loss. When one door closes in light, it's because a larger one is opening. You watch as his wings unfold to their full span, stretching wider than the limits of your imagination. Every feather glows with a pulse, like a heartbeat. You realize that these wings aren't just symbols. They are maps. Each one holds a story, a human life touched by mercy. You are now part of that story. The clock ticks softly in the distance. The air hums with anticipation. Michael steps back slightly, his expression both solemn and peaceful. "It is almost midnight," he whispers. And yet the night itself bows to light. He gestures toward you with open palms. The glow from his hands expands, surrounding you in a golden field. It feels like being submerged in sunlight, weightless, limitless, real. Your breathing slows. Your heart beats in sync with something much larger. Michael's voice fades into your thoughts one last time. Remember this feeling, because when you wake tomorrow, the signs will continue. They will come in small ways, in words, in numbers, in faces, in silence. Do not call them coincidences. Call them love letters. You smile faintly through tears. You finally understand. This I send to the end of a message. It is the beginning of a conversation between your soul and heaven. The angels don't speak once and disappear. They remain, waiting, listening, guiding. You feel an urge rise within you. Not fear, not doubt, but devotion. You whisper, "I trust divine timing." And as the words leave your lips, the candle flame beside you steadies, standing perfectly still. No flicker, no wind, just unwavering light. That's how you know the message has landed. You didn't miss it this time. You heard it, felt it, received it. Archangel Michael looks at you with infinite tenderness. "Mercy found you again," he says softly. "Now, let it stay." The sound of the ticking clock slows, almost disappearing. There's no fear left, only silence, the sacred kind. You breathe in one last time before the hour strikes, and as the golden sand in the celestial hourglass reaches its end, you feel it. You are no longer waiting for a sign. You are living as one. The clock stands still at the edge of midnight, suspended between what was and what is about to become. The golden sand within the hourglass stops falling, and in that timeless breath between moments, everything feels weightless. You can sense Archangel Michael's wings folding around you like a shield of light, and for the first time, you are not afraid of the silence. It feels safe now, sacred, a pause before rebirth. He looks at you with eyes that seem to hold both fire and oceans. His presence fills the room, but it doesn't overwhelm. It steadies. You can almost hear the hum of creation itself vibrating behind his voice when he finally speaks. The message has been delivered. Now the choice is yours. His tone is not commanding. It's loving, almost tender. The angels never demand obedience. They invite transformation. And this invitation is clear. You've been given one final moment to align with what your soul has already chosen long ago. The light surrounding him brightens until everything fades to gold. You can no longer distinguish where he ends, and you begin. The walls dissolve. The air vibrates with something ancient and divine. The weight of days, regrets, and doubts melts into the floor. There is only truth here, the raw, luminous truth that you are not lost, you are not behind, and you are never forgotten. Michael raises his hand and gestures toward the horizon of light forming behind him. Every ending you feared, he says, was only an invitation for light to enter differently. His words echo across eternity, and you realize that endings are simply thresholds disguised as closure. You never lose what belongs to your soul. It transforms, it reappears, it finds new form. He steps closer again, the glow from his being flickering across your skin like warm sunlight after rain. "Do you feel that?" he asks. You nod, though no words come out. It is not something you can describe. It is like remembering who you were before the world told you to doubt yourself. Michael smiles, a slow, knowing smile that feels like home. "You see," he says, "heaven never punishes. It prepares." Every silence, every delay, every unanswered prayer has been building the space for this. For a long moment, there's nothing but breath, yours and the universe's, intertwined. You can feel the two rhythms syncing, your chest rising and falling in perfect time with the pulse of the divine. And then, quietly, he says the words you've been waiting for without realizing it. It is time to come home. The phrase doesn't mean death or departure. It means awakening. Returning to alignment with who you truly are, a being of light who momentarily forgot. Coming home doesn't require a journey. It requires remembrance. And right now, remembrance floods you like sunlight through open curtains. You feel it, the truth of your own resilience, the quiet power of your persistence, the gentle forgiveness you've been withholding from yourself. All of it unfolds like wings you didn't know you had. Michael lowers his sword again, and the blade dissolves into a column of pure gold light. It extends upward, connecting earth to heaven. He nods toward it. "This is the bridge," he says. "Walk it." You hesitate, only for a heartbeat, before stepping forward. The light doesn't burn, it embraces. Each step you take feels weightless, yet grounded, as if gravity itself is honoring your movement. You can feel memories shedding from you like dust. The moments you thought you failed, the words you never said, the times you chose silence over truth. None of them matter here. As you move through the golden corridor, visions flicker around you. Faces you've loved, doors that once closed, prayers that once went unanswered. But now you see them differently, not as wounds, but as teachers. You realize that every heartbreak was holy, every delay divine, every no just another way of saying, not yet. Michael's voice follows you through the light. You are forgiven, not because you earned it, but because you were never condemned. The universe does not hold grudges. It holds lessons. You want to cry, but the tears that come aren't sad. They're cleansing. They fall like liquid light, hitting the golden floor and transforming into ripples that stretch outward, carrying peace into the unseen. Every drop becomes a blessing, reaching places you can't even imagine. Somewhere, someone else feels relief without knowing why, because energy shared through mercy never stops with one soul. You reach the end of the corridor. The light ahead opens like a sunrise, revealing not another world, but this one, familiar yet transformed. You can see your own life from above, the home you live in, the people you love, the challenges still waiting. But now, everything looks different. The heaviness is gone. The fear that used to whisper, "You're not ready," has gone silent. All that remains is clarity, a knowing that you are right where you're supposed to be. Michael stands behind you, his wings spanning wide, casting light over everything. "The sign you missed yesterday," he says, "was never lost. It simply waited for your awareness to rise high enough to see it." He points toward your world below, and you see them now, the signs everywhere, the numbers, the coincidences, the gentle nudges, all the ways heaven had been speaking all along. You were never disconnected, he adds, only distracted. You take another breath. The moment feels infinite, but not static. You realize that this message, this visitation, was not about a single night. It was about transformation through awareness. It was about teaching you to hear heaven in the ordinary, to see light in the unremarkable, to remember that divine communication doesn't need thunder. It speaks softly, like truth. Michael's light begins to soften again. The brilliance fades into something human, gentle, warm, like morning sunlight through open windows. He says, You will wake tomorrow, and life will look the same, but you will not be the same. You will carry this light, and it will guide you through every shadow. You nod, understanding. He extends his hand one final time, a gesture not of departure, but of blessing. When his palm hovers above your heart, you feel a pulse, a flash of energy that expands outward like wings unfolding from within you. It feels eternal. It feels like love itself. This is not the end of mercy, Michael whispers. It is its beginning in you. His wings lift once more, and the sound of them, like wind, like waves, fills your entire being. The room brightens to white gold light until everything disappears. And then, just as suddenly, you're back, sitting in silence. The candle beside you still burns, steady and calm. The clock has moved again. The world continues. But you are not the same person who sat here before. You feel lighter. You feel awake. You feel accompanied. Outside, the night deepens, but it no longer feels like darkness. It feels like a vast canvas waiting for light. You look around and smile. Somewhere in the distance, you hear the faint sound of a clock striking 12. And instead of fear, you feel peace. Because you know that mercy did not leave with the stroke of midnight. It stayed. You whisper into the quiet room, "I choose light now." The words carry power. They seal everything that has happened tonight. They ripple through the invisible, sending waves of golden energy outward. You can almost feel heaven nodding in acknowledgement. Archangel Michael's voice drifts one last time, gentle as wind moving through feathers. When you walk into tomorrow, you will carry heaven's signature with you. Every act of kindness, every moment of courage, every word spoken in love. These are how angels continue their work through human hands. You are not waiting for a sign anymore. You have become one. You smile through quiet tears. The message has landed fully, deeply, permanently. And as you rise, you notice the air feels cleaner. Your heart feels steadier. Your mind quieter. Everything outside remains the same, yet everything inside has changed. The candle flickers once and steadies again, its flame unwavering, a mirror of your own soul. The night exhales, the clock ticks forward, and you whisper one final prayer before standing. "Thank you, Archangel Michael. I am listening now. I choose light. I trust divine timing." Somewhere unseen, the angels smile. The window of mercy has closed, not as an ending, but as fulfillment. The message has found its home, and heaven, having been heard, grows still.